Hello, everybody. Welcome in to Missing PNW Crimes Revisited. My name is Samantha. It is June 10th, 2025, and I have another update on Travis Decker, the man wanted for murdering his three beautiful, beautiful daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. Just 5, 8, and 9 years old. Just a devastating story to tell. It's just absolutely disgusting. This man has absolutely done nothing but run and hide like a coward. These beautiful girls, Whitney, their mother, the entire community, the Decker family, Whitney and her family, devastated by the loss of three beautiful young girls murdered by their father. Travis Decker is still at large, but there is and has been a recent update that I want to bring you guys. I did recently go live, so I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, but let's just see who's in the house. Sarah Suspicious, my beautiful moderator, thank you so much for being here on such short notice. The new information I'm going to give was released just 20 minutes ago. Justice Jane, thank you so much for coming in. It's good to see you. I had several people send me some information right after my live on Chiron. Plant Lady, I love your name because I love plants and gardening. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming in. Big O is in the house. Thank you, hun, for being here. It's good to see you. I appreciate everybody coming in. Thank you guys so much. Let me go over here and make sure I do something real quick. I need to put it on. Gotta fix something for my live stream here real quick. It's on subscribers only mode just to keep out any trolls. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming in. Very, very short notice. That's why you got to click that notification bell, subscribe, and if you can, become a member here at Missing PNW. I appreciate everybody coming in, giving me support, giving all of the children that we go over here at Missing PNW support and love for them and for their families. Diane Crawford, it's good to see you. Evil Alaska, thank you guys so much for coming in. I just want to get right to it, okay, guys? So yesterday, we got this update. This was the area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High. Law enforcement is searching for the suspect, Travis Decker, in the area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High. Is to believe to potentially be in this area. Now, this area is west of Wenatchee and Leavenworth, about 10 miles south, not north into Canada like a lot of people thought. That was yesterday's update. And I just want to update you guys again on something that just came out by the sheriff's office. This was not long ago. Let me just read it here real quick. So law enforcement has tracked a subject believed to be Decker in Blewett Pass, Highway 97 area. We talked about this yesterday because that Ingalls Creek and that Valley High area, what is very close to the Highway 97 there. And like I said, it's like right smack dab in the middle, west of Leavenworth and Wenatchee. We are asking the public, especially those who live or who have cabins in the area, to remain highly vigilant and report any suspicious activity. First off, we here at CCSO want to thank the countless hours spent on this search by men and women of law enforcement from a vast number of agencies across our region, state, and nation. The amount of work that has been accomplished thus far could not have happened without them, and we are forever grateful. Our office recently received a tip from a hiking party who stated they spotted a lone hiker in the enchantments area who appeared to be ill prepared for trail and weather conditions and appeared to be avoiding others. So this is huge. Not only did he look like he wasn't prepared to be out there on the trails and for the weather, but he seemed to be avoiding people. Tracking teams immediately acted upon the information and spotted a lone off-trail hiker from a helicopter near Kolchuk Lake who ran from sight as the helicopter passed. So you have somebody near the Kolchuk Lake who ran from sight as the helicopter passed. Additional assets were called to the area while they developed a plan to track the individual. Teams later picked up a trail and deployed canines in the area, tracking the subject to the area of Ingalls Creek trailhead on Highway 97. I knew that Highway 97 was going to play a part in this. It was just too damn close to where they were already looking for Travis. I don't know why. I just felt it in my gut that he was going to, use, because he's in that area. He knows that area, but I just felt like he was really going to hone in on that 97. And yeah, Ingalls Creek trailhead was right there on Highway 97. Hikers, if you have been in the enchantments area within the last week and have seen anything suspicious, please contact the tip line with any information you may have. Additionally, if you were a solo hiker in the area recently, please contact the tip line immediately with your information so investigators can follow up with you. They're wanting to follow up with these hikers to find out where they were, what they were doing, to make sure they weren't one of the people, that they weren't who someone thought was Travis Decker. That's why they're doing that. As the search continues in the area, we are asking that anyone who may have a cabin or reside in the area report any suspicious activity. Lock your doors and vehicles and look out for your neighbor's property. If you have any cameras, including trail cameras in the area, please check them or submit a tip to the U.S. Marshals tip line with a location of the camera for law enforcement to check. While federal agencies lead the continued search, let's see. I think we're on to this one. Yes. While federal agencies lead the continued search, CCSO detectives remain strongly engaged on the murder investigation, processing evidence and tracking down more potential evidence to build a strong case for prosecution. We want to sincerely thank the hard work of our detective division led by Sergeant Lewis and East Cascade SWAT team led by Sergeant Frank, Sergeant Foreman, and Deputy I want to say this right, Equal, who have put in several hundred combined hours of work since locating Evelyn, Peyton, and Olivia deceased on June 2nd, 2025. For our citizens and communities, we are grateful for the outpouring of support you have given to all of our members. A special thank you to the Wenatchee Blue family, Soup Ladies, and other local entities that have provided all the law enforcement personnel with meals, snacks, drinks, coffee, bug spray, sunscreen, and other countless essential items that keep us moving. We also want to thank the Governor Ferguson for authorizing the National Guard to assist with the search. For clarification, they are providing air assets to fly in support of the search and logistical support to search teams. CCSO remains steadfast in our commitment to conduct a thorough investigation and the capture of Mr. Decker. United States Border Control has taken over operations and command for the search of Mr. Decker. Under their direction, they are continuing to follow up on tips from the community while working closely with other federal entities, while we also, with our regional partners, remain available to assist where it is needed. We ask that the public report tips regarding Mr. Decker's whereabouts to the U.S. Marshals Service via their tip line and website, which is below. The United States Marshal Service is offering a reward up to $20,000 for information leading directly to Travis Decker's arrest. The suspect should be considered armed and dangerous. Do not approach him. Call 911. If you see Travis Decker, immediately, and do not attempt to contact or approach him. Anyone with information is urged to contact the nearest U.S. Marshal's office, the U.S. Marshals Service Communications Center at 1-800-336-0102. Sheriff Morrison, along with a representative from the U.S. Marshal Service, will be conducting a press conference at the Chelan County Courthouse stairs on 6/11 at 4 p.m. So that will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. So it looks like hikers discovered Decker on a trail, allegedly, and that is what we are hoping for. I did get some footage here that I can share with you guys that I found in another article. I'm sorry I did a clip. It's not the greatest clip in the world, but you will see what this Blewett Pass area looks like as far as law enforcement. Like, they are going crazy up there.
Check this out. Choppers are flying real low overhead in the Ingalls Creek area just outside of Leavenworth. Blewett Pass is swarmed by law enforcement. You can hear the choppers overhead. This is Lauren Donovan here with Fox 13. I'm outside the Rock on Blewett Pass, and I can tell you that there are more squad cars right here in this parking lot off 97 than I've literally ever seen. So we got King County Sheriff right ahead, so many different departments. I know the sheriff's got choppers up above, Chelan County Sheriff, Douglas County, all right here at the Rock. In that same parking lot, there's guys in full military gear loading up in an ATV. Then right across the highway, I saw dogs making the rounds. That ATV went up the road too. Seriously, you could pull off onto just about any Forest Service road off Blewett Pass and you're going to see this wanted sign with the reward, his face right there. Everyone is out looking for him right in this area.
Now, did you guys see? Let me see if I can rewind. Let's see. There was a spot here that showed the trailhead right there off of Highway 97 that went in to that Ingalls right in here. I know it was better. Let me see. She shows the entrance right there off of Highway 97. I want to show you guys. The parking lot's just full of law enforcement. This is crazy. They are like gonna catch this guy. We want justice. All of Washington State, all across the world. Law enforcement is over it. They want it. Let's see if I push play here, if it will.
Gear loading up in an ATV. Then right across the highway, I saw dogs making the rounds. That ATV went up the road too. Blewett Pass is overhead. This is Lauren Donovan here with Fox Rock on Blewett Pass. There are more squad cars right here in this parking lot off 97 than I've literally ever seen. So we got King County Sheriff right ahead. So many different departments. I know the sheriff's got choppers up above. Chelan County Sheriff, Douglas County.
It could have actually been on the news clip that I have. But yeah, this is pretty insane. Dawn, thank you so much for coming in. Elizabeth. Thank you for coming in. Wild Wanderer lives in King County. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you guys all. It's northwest of Leavenworth and at Tumwater King, and definitely could be coincidence. It's been searching all over the state. Blewett, from what I believe, Blewett Pass is southwest of Leavenworth, because the news clip that I have, it says that it's like 10 miles south of Leavenworth. Here, let me just go ahead and put up the most recent, one of the most recent news reports that I found. Actually, it was sent to me by one of our viewers. Thank you so much for that. All right, here we go. Let's take a listen to this. Of course, there will be an ad. Hold on one second.
That update. This morning, law enforcement is focusing its search for this man, Travis Decker. He is accused of killing his 3 young daughters. Fox 13's Sean Chitness is live near where that search is happening. Sean, good morning. What's the latest on the search? Are authorities getting closer to finding Decker?
Aaron, good morning. Well, we know that they are focusing in their search. They may have possibly seen him. That's why. Let's say where we are exactly. We're about 10 miles south of Leavenworth. This is a business that is located just off of 97.
Yeah, like right there, south of Leavenworth, about 10 miles southwest of Leavenworth, actually. It's almost right smack dab in between, as far as west, between Leavenworth and Wenatchee.
And where law enforcement has essentially created a staging area for their crews to come in and take a break from going into that area where they are searching. So just west of where we are and off of 97 toward that trail is where they've been going in and out. You'll be able to see the road here in just a minute. And so this is that entrance to where they think he may have been seen at the Ingalls Creek Trail. There's a road that goes.
This is that Ingalls Creek Trail right there, right off of Highway 97. They believe he was seen here. I can't believe he was even like right here at the trailhead, actually.
There, and it's the area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High that they are focusing in on. Last night, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office put out an alert saying they believed Travis Decker was potentially in that area. Deputies have been on a manhunt for a week now, looking for that father of 3 accused of killing his 3 young daughters, Peyton, Olivia, and Evelyn. Their bodies were found at a campground last week. The Sheriff's Office is asking anyone who lives nearby to secure your home and vehicles, stay alert, and report any suspicious activity to 911. They also say residents should expect to see an increased presence of law enforcement, and we certainly noticed that making our way from Seattle over here. Just as soon as you got into Chelan County, you could see sheriff's deputies positioned along the road. And again, here they have a significant presence where we are. Not only is it the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, but other agencies like the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office and Everett Police, all part of the response right now. So once again, the reminder out to folks, if you see Travis Decker, you should not approach him. He should be considered dangerous, but call 911 immediately. Live in
I know one thing that I found really interesting is that these hikers said that he didn't look like he was prepared. We've all assumed that he was well prepared and that this was so planned out that he may have even been dropping his equipment or putting it in certain locations as he went. I'm assuming they even may be talking about, just in that light colored t-shirt that he was wearing in shorts still. And it's going to get cold up there. So, Exquisite, thank you so much for coming in. Just an update here on 3 beautiful, beautiful young girls, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, murdered by their father, Travis Decker. The girls were found June 2nd. Their father on May 30th picked them up for a visit. It was his very first unsupervised visit. We know that now because that's what Whitney Decker told, or Whitney Decker's dad told the news. He had supervised visits up until this point, his very first unsupervised visit, and he murdered the girls. Yesterday, we found out that the girls did die of suffocation, and the coroner said that it was a homicide. The girls had bags over their head. Their wrists were zip tied. I pointed out last night, I'll point it out again. He fought in Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, those soldiers and stuff over there, they do the same thing to their prisoners, the bag over the head and the zip ties. I don't know if this is some kind of like snap PTSD thing or what, but even though he did look in his phone on May 26th for Canada, for work in Canada and everything else, he moved south. He did not move north. I thought maybe that could happen, that could be because he just wanted to make law enforcement chase their tails looking for him somewhere else, because he has such of a huge background in military. There are other news reports that I'd like to go over. Brandy, thank you for coming in. Let's see what they have to say. Let me go over here real quick and just look to see what else I have. Okay, this was 3 hours ago. This one, we have several here, so let's take a look at some of these.
Office is revealing what sparked the search for Travis Decker near Ingalls Creek off Blewett Pass. He's accused of killing his 3 young daughters and hasn't been seen in.
Did you guys see this terrain? I mean, look at what they're dealing with here. Up north in Washington, the mountains get so high, steep, pointy, and it is still cold up there, and there's still snow on some of those mountains.
Pass. He's accused of killing his 3 young daughters and hasn't been seen in 11 days.
Thanks for being with us for Fox 13 News at 5. I'm Matthew Smith.
And I'm Hannah Kim. We have Fox 13's Lauren Donovan live in Leavenworth. Lauren, a tip came in from a group of hikers, and we are learning more about that tip now.
Yeah, really eye-opening, Hannah and Matt. So the sheriff's office says that this hiking group, they spotted a lone hiker that looked ill-equipped, out of sorts, and they were actually avoiding others, and they were spotted right up past this ridgeline in the Enchantments. That's back past Icicle Road. You're probably familiar with it from all of our coverage. So this individual, they just looked like they did not belong there. And tracking teams immediately acted on this intel, and they ended up spotting a lone hiker by helicopter helicopter near Kolchak Lake, and that person was running. So teams picked up the trail, deploying canines eventually over to Ingalls Creek trailhead on the other side of the encampments on Highway 97, and that's where they've been searching all day long.
You guys see this big ass mountain? They're saying he was up there on that trail, up there on this mountain, this Blewett Pass, and a helicopter sees somebody and they take off running. That to me sounds like they had definitely have honed in on Travis Decker. I really hope and pray they did. This coward needs to be found before he hurts somebody else. I'm actually shocked that, we think he could possibly even still be alive. So many people thought that maybe he would hurt himself, harm himself, not being able to deal with what he had done to his daughters. I know that Whitney, she just did not think that he was ever capable of doing this. He loved his daughters, she said, and, never thought that anything like this would happen. Was this planned out? Was this planned out? We heard that he tried getting back together with Whitney the week prior to all of this, in the week leading up to his visit with his daughters, and she did not want to do it. We're talking somebody suffering from PTSD, borderline personality disorder. He's been trying to get mental help and stuff, and very, very dangerous man with a lot of skills, running. He wants to be alive. He's a coward.
Earlier in the afternoon, choppers were flying real low. At one point, it felt like they were right on top of us. This one here, we spotted around 10:30 a.m. It was running over ridges up and down the creek bed. The King County Sheriff's Office has deployed their SWAT helicopters to aid in this search. And we know the Snohomish County SWAT team is out here assisting too. Drive past the rock on Highway 97 at any point during the day, and you'd see a swarm of squad cars, some marked, some unmarked, law enforcement in tactical gear, making plans, suiting up. There were a couple of ATVs making the rounds too, and dogs deployed as well. Anyone passing through Chelan County this way, headed onto Blewett Pass, would have seen these signs flashing, warning folks of what's going on.
Police activity ahead. Do not pick up hitchhikers. I was actually wondering if he would have the guts to get there on Highway 97 and hitchhike out of the area. But there are people questioning whether or not, I hope they are really keeping Whitney safe, because he's heading south from Leavenworth. Hopefully he's not trying to get to her. Somebody in the comments last night mentioned, what if they get to her? Is that what he's trying to do, to harm her and then maybe, hurt or harm himself? Is that like his thing to do? Or now is he just running and hiding? Like, Travis Decker, turn yourself in. You are a coward. You are a monster for doing what you did to your daughters. They deserved better, and they deserved a better father than you. I am sorry. I don't care how good of a father he was up until this point. What he did to those girls, how he left them to be found is so telling. It's like he did that on purpose as a slap in the face to Whitney. Like, if I can't have you, I'm going to take the most beautiful things, the most important things from you, which were her girls, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. This is disgusting.
And heed those warnings. Everybody watching, if you're out recreating in this area, make sure you lock your car, lock your home. If you live in the area, if you're staying in a cabin anywhere near Ingalls Creek or really in Leavenworth, it is a really heightened sense of urgency out here. Now, law enforcement need your help moving forward after getting this tip, after looking into it. So if you were out in the encampments within the last week and you think you saw someone that met this description or saw something unusual, get in touch with them ASAP. ASAP, the Chelan County Sheriff, and also to that avail, if you were potentially the lone hiker, if you were out there by yourself and you saw that chopper overhead and you were running, contact them. I can tell you from my frequent experience going up to Kolchak Lake, that is one of the most popular places to hike in the entire state. It's an iconic lake, an iconic viewpoint, and a lot of people go up there to experience it. A lot of people who are ill-equipped. I've seen people on that trail in flip-flops and whatnot, so it wouldn't be crazy to think someone was out of sorts there. That all said, obviously law enforcement thinks this tip is extremely credible. So please, if you were in the enchantments, get in contact with them ASAP. We are live just outside that in Leavenworth. I'm Lauren Donovan.
Man, they're really, really getting close, aren't they? Let's just hope and pray to God they get him. Let's just get Travis Decker, the monster that killed his daughters. What do we got over here in chat, you guys? Chaos Mama, thank you for coming. What was his military specialty? Let's see, Ranger. Oh my gosh, there was actually a lot. Paratrooper. He's got survival skills from training to be an elite ranger, which somebody that he was in the service with said he did not complete the elite ranger. He also went into, was it the National Guard here in Washington? I covered it all in one of the first lives that we did because the information was just, let me see, is it in this maybe? Hold on. No. Dawn is a new member. Thank you so much for becoming a Missing PNW Whisperer. I appreciate you so much. I can't do this without you. Thank you so much. Everybody hold on to your chairs. I really do appreciate the support. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Domestic Pinup, hello. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Death by Chocolate, good to see you here, hun. So many people, yeah, wanting to know what is up with Travis Decker. The changes radically mountains, gullies, ravines, and rivers. Gotta watch your footing. On the peninsula in the Olympics, we have frequent rescues, broken legs and ankles. Absolutely. Best thing about Washington is you can find water. You can go skiing on the water. You can go to the ocean. You can go fishing in all of the lakes, the rivers. Washington is a beautiful place. The mountain areas are a very, very dangerous place to be. It absolutely is so, so awful. Our hearts are with the family. Yeah, I believe the same thing. I think this is revenge towards his wife for leaving him, for not taking him back. And he took the one thing that Whitney loved the most, which was those beautiful, beautiful baby girls. You know, we're praying for Whitney, the family, the community, all the children at Wenatchee Elementary School that knew these girls. You know, they have raised, last I saw, still didn't check today. I was going to do that, but then had so much new information coming in on all the cases that I'm working on. So last I looked, $1,700,000 already raised for Whitney on the GoFundMe. I want to look over here real quick, see if there's any other. We've got lots of video clips. We don't know if any of them are going to have new information, but we can surely look, and we can also get a better perspective of, you know, watching these news clips. I am a news clip freak. So let's take a look at these.
Following breaking news at 5 o'clock, closing in on Travis Decker. For the first time, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office says it believes he is alive and they know where he is.
So there we have it there in this news clip. They're saying they believe that he is alive. I know yesterday that sheriff that's working did not talk about whether they thought he was alive or not, but now they're saying they believe he is alive. And I really like going into this right here because this is going to give you guys an idea of what I was saying. We've got Leavenworth up north, Wenatchee down south, and east. So southeast from Leavenworth, where this 97 is, this highway, this is the area where he is. So he is west of Wenatchee. And is he moving towards Wenatchee to get to Whitney? That's what I'm wondering. And he has to cross over that Blewett Pass to get over there.
Started with a hiking party who told authorities that they believe Decker is in the enchantments near.
So let's look at this. We've got Colchuck Lake up here, which is southwest. And then we've got Eagle Creek Trailhead here right off of 97. So they're talking about, you know, there being some people claiming to have seen him in Colchuck Lake, I believe was last night, yesterday. And then that's one of the reasons they were looking in the Ingalls Creek area and the, what was it? The Valley area. And now Blewett Pass. That is further down south. Valley High. Ingalls Creek, Valley High area, that's around the Colchuck Lake. That's the area they were searching yesterday. Today, it's brought them more south up on Blewett Pass.
Colchuck Lake. And right now, crews are focusing their search near Blewett Pass. King 5's Eric Wilkinson has been alongside authorities today. He joins us live from the community of Beshaston with today's developments. Eric.
That's right, Joyce. That information coming in just over the past 15 minutes or so, information that tells us that the search crews have been here for the past 20 hours or so because hikers on the trail here in the Enchantment saw a man just didn't look right. He didn't look like he was prepared for a hike. He was by himself and he was trying to avoid people. So they reported that to authorities. Authorities launched a helicopter. That helicopter actually spotted the man, and they've been chasing him ever since. That once cold trail now growing warmer. As police helicopters swarm the skies, people on the ground are left worrying and wondering what's going on.
There's an alert, there's an emergency alert on everybody's cell phone that Travis was somewhere in this area.
Yeah, late last night, while I was live, somebody came into chat saying that they were alerting people in the area through phones. So sending out alerts to the phones and people in the area, telling them to make, lock your doors, stay safe. Got lots of comments in here. One of them that I find very interesting, Dawn here is saying that one of the key symptoms of the PPD is fear of abandonment. That would actually really make sense. If Whitney didn't want to get back together with him. And as far as like being a hiker, being out there, like I'm really shocked that they haven't shut everything down now. I know they did before, but why aren't they doing it now? I feel like it's dangerous for these hikers to be out there facing this man. But of course, we are not hearing anything and we don't know because we're not privileged to all of the information. There could be more, but it doesn't sound like these hikers saw him armed. I mean, he could have had something smaller tucked away somewhere, but that didn't seem to be something these hikers talked about. I was really wondering, like, is he armed? Maybe it is something, a small weapon of some sort. But Rhonda, thank you for making it in. I mean, they're just really searching
9:15 last night, Chelan County sent out cell phone alerts advising people living here to secure their doors and windows. Travis Decker, charged with murdering his 3 young daughters last month, on the run and possibly close by. There has been no further word from authorities, but we have obtained the first photos from deep inside the rugged mountain search zone. Snohomish County Special Operations are assisting. Here you see them armed, hiking up snowy terrain and deploying a deputy from a helicopter. This couple, on vacation from Squim, finding themselves in the middle of a manhunt.
I don't want to stay outside too long. I don't know where this guy's moving around.
The search area is about 15 miles as the crow flies from the campground where Decker is believed to have suffocated his children.
Oh, I want to back up a little bit there. So that's where the girls were found dead up north, like northwest of Leavenworth. He's not traveling north up to Canada like we all thought. You know, we know that his cell phone said he was searching for how to live in Canada, looking for work in Canada. Everywhere else doesn't look like he went that way. And now we've got this search area pinned. I'm so glad this news report is adding a map. It gives us a great perspective, a look at that terrain.
To have suffocated his children. The circles on this FlightAware map show the search center in the areas around Valley High, Ingalls Creek, and Allen Lane. By foot, Decker would have to traverse several mountains, but he is a former Army Ranger with extensive tactical training. Travis Decker hasn't been seen since at least May 30th, 12 days. The question tonight, are his days truly numbered?
I got to rewind a little bit. What are they talking about this? Like, it almost looked like a bunch of scribbles. What the hell is that? Are they saying that's what, like a cell phone or something? How do they, what?
His children. The circles on this FlightAware map show the search centered in
flight map. Okay. So over here to the right, we have a plane, and that is basically where that plane was flying in the air looking for Travis Decker. Okay, I understand now. Sorry, you guys. I wanted to see what the hell.
Hasn't been seen since at least May 30th, 12 days. The question tonight, are his days truly numbered?
Kind of unsettling. Plus, you didn't want to be out here if it was dark. You didn't want to be walking around. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and the breaking news here in Chelan County is that authorities do believe they know where the man has been on the run for 12 days now. Finally is Travis Decker. They believe he's around Cold Chuck Lake. We are currently located about 10 miles south of Leavenworth along Highway 97. Now, the sheriff's office says if you were a lone hiker somewhere in this area in the encampments, they want to hear from you. They want to make sure that you're not...
He's saying Cold Chuck Lake now. I believe this report is earlier than the last report that we watched, because the latest report says Blewett Pass area.
Unfairly singled out as a suspect. Also, if you have seen anybody who looked out of place, a lone hiker along these trails, please give them a call. I wouldn't be caught dead out there, actually. I would not be out there hiking. I would not be out there. He just sounds so damn dangerous that I just don't think I could. Okay, I got another news clip, guys. Let's just keep checking it out. Once I check chat, I heard somebody say that people were complaining about the fact that Whitney got over $1,700,000. She has to live the rest of her life without her daughters. How long will she have to take off work? I mean, the traumas of losing not one, not two, 3 of your children, all of your children at the same time, murdered by their father, the person you thought loved your children. The trauma, the anxiety, the depression. She is so friggin' strong, though. Like, she's advocating for Travis Decker. She wants,
You know, this court system has failed her. That is obvious. And then you have veterans, you know, she's trying to bring awareness to them. With that money, I truly believe that she is going to change things, change laws, and help the community, help the veterans, help other veterans that need help, that have post-traumatic stress syndrome for being, you know, in the service, for seeing things that, you know, no one ever wants to see. These men go out there, they fight for our country, they come back a mess, and they need help, and they're not getting it. My father was a veteran, and he was working with the vets to try to get monies that he was supposed to be receiving from the vets. He was doing this for years and years. Okay. Then we found out my father had cancer. My father passed, and he got a check from the veterans months later. Okay. Months later, my dad fought the entire time trying to get money that was owed to him, due to him, and it didn't come for months later after his death. We got to take care of our vets because they are out there taking care of us. I'm not sticking up for Travis Decker. I'm just talking about vets. So, Wild Wanderer said, I went off on them. KS Mama, you should not hike alone in those areas anyway. No, not alone. If you're going to hike, go with someone. You know, but there are a lot of hikers. They take their gear. They take things in case of emergency. They take the walkie-talkies. They, you know, they do everything they have to do. I know hikers, the backpacks are just giant, and they have everything they need in their backpack for 2 to 3 days if they were to like break an ankle or an arm or, you know, get stuck somewhere. So I totally believe in PTSD, just not buying this for him specifically. Exactly. I'm not sure if he suffers from PTSD or not, but the way he's acting, I don't know, though. If you really think about it, like, let's get into that. You've got helicopters flying up above you. And when you're fighting and you're at war, or, you know, you're in Afghanistan, you're doing all those things, helicopters could be a trigger for him. That could be why he's running. We don't know. We do not know what Travis Decker is thinking in his head at this point. We just know he was friggin' pissed off at Whitney, allegedly, and murdered his daughters. What reason would he have to murder them if it wasn't revenge? What else we got here in chat? Medical is going to be expensive too. Yes, exactly. Medical expensive, you know, for Whitney, for counseling, for everything she's going to have to do. Trauma therapy. They had a Black Hawk out today. Yes, helicopters are searching the area. You know, I even saw in one news clip horses. So they got ATVs, horses, helicopters. You know, they're using those little military cars to get up in there. Yeah, flight path. That just confused me. I was like, what the hell was that? It looked like a bunch of scribbling. I thought, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, he was carrying around his cell phone and they had him circling around that area like that. I'm like, way too much. We could have sustained an undiagnosed brain injury in one of those car accidents too. He could be major confused, which matches what that neighbor said. Yeah, the neighbor of Whitney talked to Travis Decker the day he came to talk or to pick up the girls on May 30th. And he said that when they were talking with each other, he wouldn't remember what they were talking about, and he was just repeating himself, one thing after another. So, you know, good point, Witchy Mama. Thank you for coming in too, by the way. I see so many new familiar faces. Thank you guys all for coming in. Don, his boss, said he was getting bullied by co-workers due to his mental state. Mom's neighbor spoke with him the day he picked up the girls and said he kept repeating himself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just repeating himself over and over. We just don't know what's going on in his head. But anything he has to say in court after he's arrested, if, it's not a showdown between law enforcement and him and he ends up dead, we'll hear his excuses. We'll hear what he has to say. They'll report what his state of mind was. She could be so traumatized she might not be able to work. Everyone has a different constitution. I would love to see support from Desiree and Brandy, but they have their own full plates. Yes, ma'am, they do. And this is, kind of a different situation. Their kids are missing, and, I don't know. It's a different kind of situation. And who knows? Maybe, I know Brandy's not even healthy enough to help. Honestly, she's not even healthy enough, but who knows? Desiree does work with law enforcement and stuff. She could already be doing some kind of help. Yep, VA wouldn't help him when he was looking for help. Chaos Mama says, we know what mental health issues can do, but we need to get better about treating it. Yes, and we need to get better about talking about it. And people that have mental issues need to learn how to advocate for themselves, and they need to learn that it is okay to talk about it. It is okay to talk about it. There are numbers out there for people. Just make those phone calls, get that help, get that counseling, get that trauma therapy, do whatever it takes. I'm going to look up here for some more. Oh, I already found one. Yeah, let's watch another news. Because each news report, I feel like maybe we can find something different in it. So let's just keep checking them out. These are all ones that have been put out within the last 3 to 4 hours. Let's see what this one's got to say.
Breaking news just into our newsroom. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office says law enforcement may have tracked Travis Decker to Blewett Pass. The Sheriff's Office says a hiking party spotted a lone hiker who avoided them and a law enforcement helicopter. The Sheriff's Office is advising residents in that area to secure their homes and vehicles, stay alert, and report any suspicious activity to 911. Decker, of course, is accused of killing his 3 daughters. Multiple agencies are assisting the Sheriff's Office in that search, including the National Guard and the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. Again, Travis Decker charged with the murder of his 3 daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, whose bodies were recovered last week near Rock Island Campground outside of Leavenworth. If you know Decker's whereabouts, you're asked to call 911. There is a $20,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. Breaking news.
Not very much detail on that one. I am glad some of these, though, are putting in maps talking about the girls. This one was 14 hours ago. Just want to see. Well, we can listen to an article on this one. Let's just see what this one has to say. Then we'll check in with chat, see what everybody thinks. I love getting all of your ideas, theories, speculations, because that's all we have at this point. Okay, so this is Decker search, hiker who fled helicopter led to Eagle Creek. All right, Ingalls Creek, sorry. Let's listen to this article. Thank God I ain't got to read. My voice hurts.
Wenatchee police investigators say a lone Kolchak Lake hiker who avoided contact with others and hid from a police helicopter precipitated a day-long hunt in the Ingalls Creek area for Travis Decker, wanted since June 2nd for a triple child murder. Chelan County Undersheriff Dan Osment said the initial tip came from a hiking party who allegedly saw an ill-prepared solo hiker in the enchantments who appeared to avoid others along the trail route. Osment, who disclosed the incident in a Tuesday press release, did not specify the time or date of the tip. A helicopter team then saw a single off-trail hiker who ran from sight as the aircraft passed. Ground teams later found a trail and used dogs to track the person to the Ingalls Creek trailhead near Highway 97 in Blewett Pass, Osment said. That trail led the teams searching for Decker, a 32-year-old military veteran suspected of killing his 3 young daughters a week ago by asphyxiation, to alert residents near the trailhead Monday to secure their homes and remain watchful. The alert area included Valley High, an unincorporated Blewett Pass community of some 200 households north of the trail access. That notification had not been lifted as of Tuesday evening. The search team continues to encourage public reporting to help find Decker, charged in the murders of his children, Olivia, 5, Evelyn, 8, and Peyton, 9. He had taken the girls from their Wenatchee home May 30th in a scheduled 3-hour custody visitation and allegedly killed them near a primitive campsite off Upper Icicle Road west of Leavenworth. The children's bodies were discovered June 2nd, and authorities suspected Decker, a seasoned outdoorsman, might have fled into the backcountry rather than returning to the Wenatchee Valley. Anyone who's observed suspicious activity in the enchantments within the last week should contact Rivercom at 509-663-9911 or use the sheriff's online tip form.
Yeah, I mean, and then yesterday we found out that the blood that was on the tailgate of the truck that was found at the campground, some blood was believed to be a male's blood. The other blood came back as non-human. So was it his dog that was bleeding? Did he kill some animal so that he could have something to eat? Like, still wondering about that. This is Travis Decker. He's got those tattoos. Stay away. If you're hiking, you see him, please call 911. I mean, he doesn't look as good in those as he doesn't look as good now as he did in those pictures. That's for sure. He looks pretty worn out, not taking care of himself, with a beard and mustache. He's got gauged earrings. He's got a tattoo on one forearm of either a whale or a salmon. He's got other tattoos on the other arm. I really recognize those circles on the lower part of the forearm. Here we have pictures of Evelyn there on the left, Olivia in the middle, and Peyton on the right. 3 gorgeous baby girls murdered by their father, allegedly. This is my most favorite picture. They look so fun and alive. He posted the deer bones on May 16th. Could be from that, possibly. Yeah, good, Sarah. That's a very good. Don't even know what I'm trying to say. My brain hurts, you guys. I went live for 2 hours on Chiron today. Yeah, very well could be that animal that he posted up on his Facebook group. Wild Wanderer says, yep, I had clients in there and ran an adult family home, and my clients were all from there. He will be housed at Western State Criminal Ward. Down, I read it was confirmed to be the day he picked them up. Theory, laugh out loud. Yeah, I know. You're my brain when I get stuck. I swear, Sarah. Thank you. We know cause and manner, but they haven't narrowed the time of death. from autopsy. I know. I'm wondering the same thing. Like, when were they killed? How long has he been running? I'm actually starting to think that they hadn't been dead for very long, just because of the way this hunt has gone, how far he's gotten. I mean, 10 miles south of Leavenworth, 10 miles. Yes, it's rugged terrain and everything else, but if he's that healthy and he has all that military, you know, I mean, is he not eating? Is he not drinking? Why would it take him so long to go 10 miles? He's been missing for a while now, so. Amy, you are not the only one. It really does. I mean, the most tragic thing I thought that happened in the Chris Watts case was actually one of the daughters asking their father, Chris, why are you doing this? Or what are you doing? You know, she was alive. She was watching her father murder her sibling. And here, same thing with these girls. Did two of the girls witness something unimaginable before, and then what? You're the last one of the girls and you just witnessed your father do this to two of your siblings. Could you imagine the fear? And it's so personal to suffocate a person. And he did this to his children. I just don't even know how he's living with himself. Honestly, I really thought in the beginning he was going to off himself. And then as time went by, I just was like, wow. He's not. If he's confused, it could slow him down. True. Very, very true. Yep, confused, walking in circles. Very true. He does, like I said, those helicopters driving up above. If he does have post-traumatic stress syndrome from being over there in Afghanistan, those helicopters really could be triggering him. It's just what triggered him to murder his daughters. Are we talking about mental health issues, or are we talking about revenge? Are we talking about both? Whitney has came out and said she doesn't believe he was taking anything for that BPD. He wasn't getting any help from the veterans. Did he just get so frustrated? But I mean, he's looking forward to seeing his girls, and he's doing all these supervised visits. The very first time he gets a chance for it to be unsupervised, this is what he does. Like, had he been planning this for a while? Like, okay, I'm going to do everything the courts tell me to do, and then as soon as I get them, I've got this plan. But it doesn't even seem like, according to these hikers, that he is geared up or had this remarkable plan that so many people's talked about, like whether or not he's put supplies, throughout where he was going to go and everything else. Sounds like if he had a plan, it's fallen apart, is what it sounds like. Autopsy did say girls passed on Friday, May 30th, the day he got them. He had 3 days start, which is, I don't remember that saying that in the autopsy report, because I do remember that his truck was seen on a bridge cam somewhere on Saturday, and they believe that the girls were with him then, and Saturday would have been May 31st. So I'm not sure about that information. I will look into that though. Oh, Sarah, you saw that too? It said that they had been. Now you guys are gonna make me look it up, aren't you? Because I only I gotta know. Authorities have announced the official causes of death. 3 girls were alleged to have been killed by their father. Found dead near Rock Creek or Rock Island Campground, Chelan County. The girls were reported missing on May 30th. In a press release shared, said the autopsy was completed by medical examiner on June 6th. The cause of death was determined to be suffocation, and a manner of death was determined to be homicide. The release states, the girls' bodies were located after authorities found Travis's pickup, in which the sheriff's office said investigators have since collected a large amount of evidence, including many of his personal items. Per the release, the suspect's dog was recovered and returned to the Humane Society for safe care. Blood samples taken at the scene have come back positive for belonging to a male and another, not human blood. Further DNA and fingerprint analysis are still being conducted. Travis remains wanted. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. Yeah, I'm not seeing that anywhere. Okay, I searched for that info but couldn't find it in print. I can't find it either. Whitney confirmed that he had tried to rekindle the marriage a week before. Yes. Whitney said no. He had told the girls he was moving back in and mom and dad were getting back together. Oh, goodness. I have not heard that part. Yes, it's been up in the 80s, 90 degrees all over Washington this week. I now believe it is revenge for her turning him down. Yeah, I was already kind of wondering that too. The nights might be cool, but temperatures have been in the 90s all over the state. Yep. My daughter just went camping a couple weeks ago and she said it was freezing. They only went one night and had to come back home because it got too cool at night. In an article today, I think. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything saying, let me look one more time. I've seen a lot of the stuff coming out today. I've not seen anything. Yep. If anybody has that information, I will just put my email in the link. You guys can send it over to me in an email. I haven't seen it, and I'm not finding it in any searches that I do. He told the girl's daddy is going to jail prior, allegedly. Oh, wow. Thank you, Casey. I'm not calling you a liar. I promise you that, okay? I believe you if you say you read it. I want to read that all. Like, I want to read it all. You know what I mean? A news source, I can't recall which one, Brandy says. I'm looking, but I know they said it, Sarah said. So we got 3 people in chat saying that's when. See, that's just confusing though, because we went over some articles earlier this last week and we went over them tracking Decker, and he was seen driving down the highway from Wenatchee to Leavenworth, I believe, on Saturday. They had him on footage, and I believe the girls were in that footage. So now I'm just super confused. Maybe I got it wrong that the footage showed the girls. Everybody's going to look. That's great. I love it. Well, for updates like this, please click that notification bell. Thank you guys all for coming in and supporting these beautiful girls, because Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, they deserve justice. And Travis Decker, turn yourself in. Turn yourself into law enforcement. Stop being a coward and take responsibility for what you did to your 3 beautiful daughters. They deserved better. If you're suffering for any mental health issues, turn yourself in and get the mental help that you need. And tell us why. Why did you kill your daughters? That's the big question, right? Did you really do this for revenge? Because Whitney turned you down? That just makes you that much bigger of a monster if that's why you killed those beautiful girls. Because I believe Whitney would have been just as devastated if she had lost you. Please do not approach Travis Decker if you see him. If you're hiking in the area, please stay out of the area. I don't even believe people should be up hiking that area, especially if people are running into him. We do not know if he's armed. We do know that he's dangerous. And call 911 if you see Travis Decker immediately. If you've been hiking those trails, if you were a hiker that ran away when you saw a helicopter up there on Blewett Pass, please contact law enforcement. Let them know that was you. Any hikers that are up there in that area that maybe law enforcement may have thought something, just report where you were, what you were doing, what trails you were hiking. All of that information is really helpful to law enforcement so that they can determine whether or not, this sighting was Travis Decker. So the flock camera spotted him on the 30th. Thank you. Yes. Oh, sorry, hun. Casey, I'm sorry. I forgot. Like I said, I was already live today. This information flew in right after my live. Here is my email. And thanks again, Dawn, for becoming a Missing PNW Whisperer. If you'd like to join, please click that link. Please make sure to hit your notification bell, subscribe. Those notification bells, really, with me, I'm all spur of the moment these days. It seems like there's always something happening. In one of the cases that I'm working on, in Travis Decker, hit the notification bell if you want updates on him, because as it's happening, it's coming out because it's important. Share any information about Travis Decker, the beautiful girls, Olivia, Evelyn, and Peyton Decker, 5, 8, and 9 years old, murdered by their father. And yeah, I love you guys. It was nice coming in for an hour or so just to sit and chat and give you guys an update. And, you know, let's just keep hoping and praying that they find him and find him soon before he harms somebody else. And pray for Whitney, her family, the community, Decker's family. I know his parents are very upset right now. You know, and that's what we can do. We can pray, we can share, we can fight for justice, right? So everybody have a good night. Love you guys. Take care.